Hey guys, Beast Force here, and welcome back to my Phineas and Ferb breakdown. We're going to be breaking down 3 episodes, and not including Doof 101 because it takes place in post-summer. The 3 episodes called Father's Day, Operation Concrete, follow on Finabella, and Mandis, which had a lot of opinions which some people didn't like. Then the next breakdown will focus on Tales of the Resistance, and the next one will be Goodbye to the original run of Phineas and Ferb, with the last 11-minute episode of the production order before we go into the specials. There are a list of movies that are filming in California filming days, as Phineas and Ferb has 42 while The Simpsons had 22. And it also had a third movie to be first animated project to receive a tax credit from the California Film Commission. It's a part of California's new initiative programmed for animated projects under the union. I really hope the animation budget will have a lot for the third movie to be as good as the first movie and the second movie at times. We still got no general updates of the movie like the screenshots, the teaser trailer or something, but I'll keep an eye on it to see if it goes anywhere. If this is your first breakdown and you're curious to know how the rating system was, there's a detailed description down below along my other videos that also had the description down below in my playlist. Edward Rivera and Patrick O'Connor wrote an episode called Father's Day, premiered on June the 10th, 2040 on Disney XD US. With Perry's help, a distraught Doof tracks down the precious lawn gnome that was put. With Perry's help, a distraught Doof tracks down the precious lawn gnome that repossessed many years ago from his father in the effort to heal old wounds. Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb build an antique biplane to fulfill their dad's dream for Father's Day.
Okay, Ferb.
The film Fletcher's house early morning, as you can see the shadows, just like the beginning of the second dimension. That's cool. Phineas and Ferb making a breakfast, which is actually a reference to Pee Wee Herman, how he made his breakfast. And also the actor who played Pee Wee Herman going to voice in the show, but that would be in Alka Files. Look at Ferb's hands in this frame as he's making breakfast. Lawrence and his father are playing Aircraft Simulator. That could be a reference to Ace Combat 7, but it's not really is.
Lad, don't let the turbulence throw you.
And funny enough, it's in first person mode.
Glad we can still have our Father's Day jaunt in the biplane.
Technology's wonderful. I suppose it's better than nothing.
And we all know Phineas and Ferb are gonna plan something special for their Father's Day.
Oh, Ferb, I know what else we're gonna do today. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Too, Grandpa Reg. Ferb and I pulled out all the stops.
And they made breakfast off their face, made out of eggs, bread, oranges, and bacon.
Happy Father's Day, Dad!
I really love that Candace is hugging her stepdad, even though. This reminds me of a fan art, which I don't know who made this. She said, Mr. Fletcher, can I call you Dad? And he said, of course, which is a sweet moment. I wish that was in the show as well.
Grandpa Reg?
Ashley Tisdale doing the British accent. Funny.
Are you having a grand Father's Day? Are you ready to go?
Come on. Bye, Grandpa.
And we don't see Linda and Candace until the end of the episode, but we don't know where they're going. But I'm going to presume since it's Father's Day, Linda's going to visit her parents, Grandpa Clyde and Betty Jo, for Father's Day.
Hey, where's Perry?
Do SFU 2000 fun, but don't let your duties slide.
Of course, Major Monogram's making slide puns.
Yes, it's a lovely not your father.
And that's the third time that Carl's trying to add a son to Major Monogram. The first one being Minor Monogram, and also Thanks But Not Thanks in Season 4, which I already did a breakdown of. And we got an updated version of Season 4 of Doofus Evil Incorporated building along with the background buildings instead of keep reusing the same building for Season 1 to save animation budget.
Gotcha, Perry the Platypus. This is a sticky situation. You better hold on to that fedora.
We have slide puns and now sticky puns. What is going on?
I'm under the shoeinator. Up chewing gum in the entire tri-state area.
Looks like the gum has been exploded all over your face. But
Today just isn't my day. Hardest of the greeting card company holidays for me.
you do have problems with your father, but you are a great father to Vanessa. So there's two sides of the bad and the good.
The child was repossessed. Okay, I know you've heard that one before.
That was in the Lone Beach Party of Terror Season 1, the early episodes of Phineas and Ferb.
Relationship with my father went awry. That lawn gnome. If only there were.
It took you 40 years to not find it until Perry the Platypus does as he types it. He shows why he's intelligent.
Maybe he and I could start a EHM23 online gnome tracker.
And that's why he's the best and the smartest agent in the old WCA. Perry the Platypus right there.
In Druselstein.
Some people will never change and some do. We're going to find out why. Be careful with your gun way out, doof. Another gun pun I made.
Old biplane. Dad's gonna love this.
And that's awesome they made it for Dan. And also Candace and Linda are gone, so Candace doesn't have a time to bust. As you can see, Phineas and Ferb are wearing headgear to protect themselves in case they fall. And I love the plane just opens up as it gives a turbine, mini turbines, as it fires a rocket as it goes fast. So that means the price is being reduced as Doofer bought the opportunity to buy it.
Happy Father's Day, Dad!
Oh, poor Vanessa. She was about to give her father a gift and then he's gone.
Only go so far, so I set up a worldwide network.
Great landing, but at least you got near it, which is better.
Missed it by that much.
At least you're near it instead of being far away. That would have been disastrous.
Perfect landing.
The plane that Phineas and Ferb are riding, it looks CGI as you get to see it.
Okay. Open them.
Ta-da! Think of a better Father's Day gift.
And I really like the boys making their father very happy no matter what. Whatever invention is. That's what makes this great.
Hello, son.
Dad? Oh, happy Father's Day.
We don't see it off screen, but Phineas and Ferb did fly to England with the plane, which is the reason why he brought Grandpa Reg here.
A traditional Father's Day flight.
Have fun.
A part of the tradition now. Come on.
Cool.
I really like how Phineas and Ferb doesn't mind Grandpa Reginald and Lawrence flying the plane, and I really like how Lawrence wants him to come with him because it's Father's Day, which makes it sweeter. You can see the houses looks out of focus and the plane looks in focus.
Take the people's in.
And the song's called Fletcher Family Flying Circus, which is the only song that Reginald sing. And the last song by Lawrence, he sing. I haven't heard it since Alien Heart. You can see them flying upside down with the building there. I really like how they animated the plane very well. It looks good. They're doing barrel rolls and looping with the plane, which is so dangerous but so exciting. Look at these people with the drum. Does this take place in Squirrels on My Pants here?
We'll try almost.
I like how they attach with the wires, just like the roller coaster song in Roller Coaster the Musical while Phineas and Ferb sings it. And they're still riding on a plane towards the carnival. One chick, two clowns, and one strong guy. And the father returned to his mother's son from the circus. Nice. And they fly away out of Druselstein while Doofer and Perry arrive in Druselstein.
Druselstein.
Friendly reminder, Druselstein still look the same as before compared to the old days. But once we get to season 5, things changed.
Perry the Platypus.
And I'm glad the cat is okay. Can you imagine though?
At this location.
Yeah, ordinary pawn shop. That is the name.
It is.
Hey, put me down.
I thought you were my father's lawn.
I get that all the time.
It's weird to see a lawn gnome talking, even though it's an actual lawn gnome in the real world.
I'm looking for DAEHM23.
Here you go.
It is you. Happy.
Hopefully for Doofus's sake he changed, otherwise he better not be the same as treating his son harshly like that. And there's Doofus's parents' house as they still live here for a lot of years. This is season 5 art style on the left and this one is season 4 on the right. And I really like the original one, how it lays out, but I actually do prefer the season 5 art style of the house more. It looks like compared to the old style, which is great, but I like both of them, but I do prefer season 5 a bit more.
Look, Perry the Platypus.
I really love Perry the Platypus supports Doofenshmirtz to give the law known to his father, which is a great. Even though they're nemesis, I really like that. You can see if Perry the Platypus gives a quick thumbs up. You see some wonky animation like in season 5, as we saw with Candace in the first episode.
That's what I brought you. Go wrong.
Oh man, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Milo Murphy's reference.
Oh, hello, Heinz.
And there's his father again. He's wearing the same clothes, but he has grey hair and a grey beard. We didn't see that in This Is Your Flashboy, as he wearing the same colour with brown hair and brown beard, but this looks different, and I like that.
So you brought me assorted broken pottery for Father's Day. Thought that, counts.
Also, Doofenshmirtz's father is voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who voices Perry the Platypus, his nemesis. Poor Doofenshmirtz, look at his face.
Roger remembered how much I love that old lawn gnome. Also makes espresso.
Even though Roger doesn't appear in this episode, he's beaten Doofenshmirtz again. Heinz just couldn't catch a break, man.
Delicious.
Happy Father's Day.
Even though Heinz's father's not the same as before, I kind of feel sorry what he's been through. He's trying to rekindle his love affair and it just doesn't work. And we see with Roger and his father, and it works so many times. I kind of feel bad and I really feel sorry for Heinz, what he's been through. But thankfully it never happened to Vanessa.
EAEHM23?
That could have gone better. Why do I even bother?
And I really love Perry the Platypus patting on Doofenshmirtz with his hand. Even though they're nemesis, they do really care about each other. And that's what makes it great.
Relationship in my life that's worked out pretty well. Thanks for coming along, Perry the Platypus.
Perry the Platypus always cares about you know what or what, even though he tries to stop you. Not just him in his life, Vanessa, Balloony, and Norm, who's also part of your life, which is the only...
You are my rock. Made out of, well, platypus, probably.
And I really love both plots in this episode. It's very, very sweet. Well done. Front face.
Wonderful old memories. Thank you, boys. For
Happy Father's Day.
Yes, it is.
I borrow your new aeroplane.
Imagine if he didn't. Phineas and Ferb would have been busted while Candace and Linda are arriving home.
Until next year, I've...
Cheery bye.
Hi, honey. Hi, boys.
Can you imagine that Candace and Linda arrive on time? Phineas and Ferb would have been busted on Father's Day. That would have been crazy.
Hey, flying with Father.
Well, here's something special.
An exact replica of Father's biplane.
Imagine the biplane was still here and Candace bought the present of it. That would have been so funny. Or would have been bustable.
Sweetheart.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Even though we don't see the much of the Flynn Fletcher family dynamic that much, I really appreciate though as they're all hugging each other. But I do prefer the Murphys even more because it had more dynamic, which did better in Milo Murphy's Law than Phineas and Ferb in my opinion. I will put this in the poll soon.
To the most evil dad in the whole world, love Vanessa. Bitches and self-destruct buttons.
And that's how you know that Vanessa knows her father more than anyone else.
That's my girl.
And his father glued all the pieces back together. Of course, you can't have that without saying don't move. Of course. I forgot this takes place during the third day of Saturday in June of Father's Day, so this could take place before Summer Belongs to You, but I will discuss that in the final thoughts. The plot will get a 3. It may not be as mind-blowing as the other plots that are better, but overall, this is very heartwarming for both sides of the story, as Lawrence found the biplane with his father, Reginald, along with Phineas and Ferb, as they have a song together, as well as traveling around the world, which is great. And I really enjoyed their dynamic, as we haven't seen Reginald for a while, but nice to see it here. I also like Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus trying to find a note of the number, which they do in Drusselstein, to give it to his father, but it turned out it was broken as Doofenshmirtz slit. But he did glue them together in the end. I really like how Heinz Doofenshmirtz trying to rekindle his relationship with his father, but it turned out it didn't end up very well, even though he was not shining light before, even though they're cheap, but not as much. I really like how Doofenshmirtz appreciate Perry and everything else in the end. Characterization is an easy 5. The characterization in this episode is strong compared to the other episode, but it's consistent as always. I really like how Perry the Platypus find a gnome with Doofenshmirtz and Drusselstein as Doofer interacts with his father, even though he just knows that he doesn't care about him anymore. And I really love that Doofer appreciate Perry and the gift from Vanessa in the end. And I really love Phineas and Ferb hanging around with his grandfather Reginald and Lawrence. And it's nice to see the Finn Fletcher hugging each other out on Father's Day, which is a strong family dynamic, which I need. Visuals, it's a 5. It has some quality visuals like Drusselstein, the gnome, the cannon, and a lot of stuff that is going on here. The Phineas and Ferb singing the song along with their father Lawrence and Reginald on the plane doing a Finn Fletcher family circus thing, which is great, and they're doing different types of barrel rolls and stuff, which is great. Importance is a 3. You have to watch it. It may not be as spectacular as Sidetrack or Mission Marvel and other stuff, but it's still fantastic, and I recommend you go and watch that. Entertainment will get a 5. 21 out of 25. One less than the Kimperley Ultimatum, which had the 21-minute episode, but it's still great. My Sweet Ride and Happy Birthday Isabella actually had the highest score, but this is right up there in terms of writing, humor, animations, and a lot of characterization and stuff. Fantastic job. Kim Robertson and Mike Bell wrote an episode called Operation Crumb Cake, premiered on July the 14th, 2014 on Disney XD. Isabella sends a letter to Phineas admitting her true feelings. However, she instantly regrets her decision and despitely tries to get back. Meanwhile, Doof invents a under retrograde Anator to reverse his bad luck. Danville Senior Lodge, haven't been there since Lola Lakis.
Hearing about the old days, sit up and change the channel on the TV.
Look at how old-fashioned I still am.
She is voiced by Malu Hanna, who you know for doing Taxi with Nana Shapiro's voice actress, Carol Kane. She doesn't have a name. I'm gonna call her Kristen.
You just text or call that. Know nothing of the lost art of letter writing.
And that's gonna be the main plot in this episode until Isabella's just like, oh my word.
The truest feelings in letters.
They meant to you without worrying about getting interrupted.
We see that many episodes Isabella gets interrupted by someone when she's trying to tell her feelings about the triangle-headed boy.
When I was young, crush on a certain boy, I wrote a letter telling him how I truly felt. I ended up being your grandfather.
I wish we got to see what Isabella's grandfather is. They'll probably be divorced or, I don't know, split up or something.
Wanting to tell someone how I feel for a long time now.
An extra pen and paper.
Oh, Kristen, you have no idea.
Hurt your feelings.
Already? She writes so fast. You can't see the scribble. It probably said Dear Phineas and Isabella with the heart in the end.
The postman's here. Or did he come running to you and... Oh, no, I never mailed it.
Nana Shapiro, you could have said that earlier. Now you put Isabella into a tricky situation now.
Laughed at me or shown embarrassment. Oh, boy.
And look at Isabella's face. She's like, oh dear, I need to get that letter before Phineas gets it. This is going to be the whole entire episode about this.
Boxes of takeout food thingies.
Chopsticks and ponzu sauce in his fortune cookie.
Everything else is Japanese culture, including anime.
Okay, I'm hungry.
We had fusion for breakfast.
Font-face Phineas again, and also Balji and Buford are here before Isabella again.
These drawers and boxes out for him.
Not just front-face, back-face Phineas.
Spoon and a fork together.
In the UK, they call that a foon.
Alternate word for spoon and fork.
Fusion of aesthetics and utility. Ferb,
What are you doing?
Candace interrupting Phineas before he can finish that catchphrase.
Doing a chore? I've got chores to do, too.
Hey, where's Perry?
Not only one, but two front-face Phineas. You can hear that chowing. It sounded like a glitch, but he's actually doing it before he gets in.
The Doofenshmirtz is into astrology now. Horoscopes were a bunch of hooey.
Says the guy who pays an unpaid intern to Carl.
My own horoscope. Bad day to get a haircut. Our agents, he could predict our every move.
Like Alka Security, Alka Systems, all around the tri-state area and stuff.
For entertainment rather than to be taken as fact.
Come on, Isabella. What's so bad?
It's weird that her mouth doesn't move, but she's speaking in a thought.
Feelings are
natural. Phineas is natural. Well, did I really refer to him as my little crumb cake?
Another episode where the person says the title of the episode.
Fireside Girls? Go ahead, Chief.
And they do have the same phone, probably for communication for Fireside Girl.
True feelings to Phineas, and we need to stop Epi mission is top priority. Operation Crumb Cake.
She's getting serious about writing the letter, and it makes a lot of sense, but you could have known earlier if Nana told you.
That what you called him? It's worse than I thought.
An art piece out of old takeout stuff would be so fun.
Same with cardboard or fabric clothing or whatever. There are a lot of things there that you can make out of art. Especially with the front face.
Tashi Kamamata's hair sculpture in Abu Dhabi.
And I will show you in the screen right now, right here.
Sub-lyric pile killerbuster with onion on marble in Salzburg.
Did my research, but I can't find it. Another one.
Made that one up.
Well, I just beaten you before you.
The platypus, could you be a sport and shut the door?
Fell for the bait again.
In a dream catcher. Norm made that this morning.
Nice to see him appreciate Norm for once.
Mercury is in retrograde. Anything can go wrong.
I see this in the error that it could be 3 weeks at a time, so the episode could be uncertain, but I did my research. Some could be March, some could be in July or whatever. And he mentioned retrograde, which foreshadowing on what's he going to do in season 5.
Mercury has been in retrograde all summer. Evil schemes keep failing.
No, it isn't. It has to do with your poor planning or self-destruction.
Unretrogradinator! It's my bad luck.
How ironic.
Anything that can go wrong near me usually will.
My whole life. Maybe we're related. Oh, great. It's sort of a double negative.
Mentioned double negative again since, the Great Balls of War.
The reversinator, but unretrogradinator. Could you come over here for a moment?
Morning pinata, sir.
Is he trying to decorate the pinata, or has he made the pinata animator?
Oh my! Piece is back on the floor.
It works!
And if Phineas gets that letter first, that can actually help Isabella too to make sure she gets that letter before him.
Giblets back into the chicken.
And that's the 5th time she rides on the skateboard. We recently see it in Cheers for Fear. And she changed her normal outfit to Fireside Girl. And the song's called I Need My Letter Back, sung by none other than Alison Stoner, as she gets a singing role again since Mission Marvel. She doesn't sing much in, but finally she does, but she doesn't sing on screen, which I like. Looks like the Fireside Girls are helping Isabel through town to get that letter. And they made skateboards out of ladder. That's very creative. All the same letter, but there's the pink one. Elsie Powell providing the vocal cords with Alison's help. Very nice. You can see in this frame there's 2 millis, which is an animation error. Why would you do that? It's not embarrassing at all. I realized this scene right here and this scene with the Fireside Girls is actually flipped, as you can see. Smartly. Uh-oh, now they got the mail and they're going to deliver it.
Never catch them this way, but politely we have to ask.
And they have to do it. They better make sure they get to Phineas and Ferb's house first before they do.
One is secretly speaking on your behalf. Positive for me, and I like that, but who is speaking nicely of me? You, Perry the Platypus.
I don't know whether he's blasted it in there off-screen and on-screen. So maybe Perry the Platypus had good luck in reverse as we see it. So we don't know, maybe to say nice things.
Dreamcatcher.
Looks like we're here before the mails come. Let's seal off this area.
It's hard to take that seriously with that high-pitched voice, but Alison will always do a good job as Isabel. But yeah, it's kind of hard to hear it.
Scouting position, 1/2 click to the north.
I really like how Isabel's being tactical about the letter, even though she's the leader of Fireside Girl, which works.
Phineas distracted. How long has this mailbox been here?
I try not to laugh too much, but I love it. It just, it makes no sense at all.
Brush my teeth. What am I doing?
Another nator that is wearing off again, like always.
Your ray has worn off. Way hard to catch.
Well, you're a giant robot who's made out of almond brittle with a head.
What you doing?
Art piece made entirely of takeout food packets and utensils.
Very creative and very crafty. Look at the different colors, blue, green, whatever.
Oh wow, artsy! We created Gainsborough the Blue Boy, completely in red pepper flake.
As I compare it to the side, the guy's wearing the Blue Boy shirt. As you get to see, he's not wearing the Blue Boy shirt anyways, because maybe it's copyrighted to avoid it.
An iWatch station.
From here you can see the whole neighborhood.
Mail Lady, aka Miss Ferguson, which is her name, as we're going to hear it.
Yes, from this angle.
Ferb's holding a mail sign, which is a reference to the coyote, which he did in Warner Brothers.
That comic book I ordered arrived.
It looked like a chore to me. It looks like a bus. It's on the envelope.
Alright, let's see how they handle this.
You have a letter in your bag addressed to Danville resident Phineas Flynn.
Looks like I do.
Miss Ferguson is voiced by Monica Raymond, who you know for playing as Gabrielle Dawson from Chicago Fire.
That you hand it over to us immediately, please?
She was aggressive at first, but she was being polite, so okay.
Postal carrier to deliver any envelope or parcel into the intended recipient as indicated in the envelope or parcel.
Looks like she's gonna have to handle the envelope to Phineas instead of the Fireside Girl because it is sent to his house. So yeah, it's like sending a box, but sometimes it sends it to the next door neighbor if it isn't big.
He jumped him and wrestled it out of his hand?
Your afternoon is none of my business.
I know her name is Miss Ferguson, the mail lady, but I feel like she felt like Holly's mom when she said honey, so I don't know, but I could be right or wrong.
Hey, Mrs. Ferguson.
It's letter.
From you, Isabella.
Oh boy, here comes the inevitable.
Isabella, here it is. You really feel there's no turning back now.
Rhythm?
That's a reference to I Got Rhythm, not Ain't Got Rhythm. The real life reference.
Truth and you spoke from your heart. I can accept this.
Finabella fans been waiting for this since 2007. Will it be official? Psych! Well, earlier, Baljeet was bringing stuff in Phineas and Ferb's house. Well, why is Phineas going there while he's going in reverse?
Gotcha. Go for every time you push.
The nickel joker then. That has been relevant since Phineas and Ferb's birthday.
Have a nickel either because I forgot about your hat.
And Perry the Platypus always find their way no matter what. Doofus, you have to try better than that.
Joe Perry the Platypus. Finish my sentences.
This is just like in every episode, the same pun with two puns we see in the same episodes. Hey, front face Phineas right here.
A bunch of stuff the boys were clear. Stuff. What's up with your room?
Oh, Candace, you just got roasted by your mom.
Guess we'll never know what was in that letter.
Looks like Finabella's gonna remain uncanon. Dan and Swampy are trolling, really trolling.
I guess not. Neither will your little crumb cake.
The plot will start off with a 2. There are 3 plots in this episode, but it's mostly focused on Isabella sending the letter to Phineas, even though we've seen Nana Shapiro explaining why she didn't send the letter, so she needed to get the letter out, which makes it chaotic and fun. And Phineas did read the letter until he was blasted by Doofus. Phineas's plot is to build things with items, with old things, to make sure a lot of sculptures and a lot of things he built. It's not really important for this episode, but it's nice to see it. And plot C focus on Doofus creating a positive, but even though it didn't do much because it created the reversinator, but it was very fun though. Characterization will get a 5. Everyone was very consistent in this episode, but I really like how the Fireside Girls take part to help Isabella to get the letter for her Operation Crumb Cake, and Miss Ferguson handed the letter to Phineas, even though Phineas was so close to seeing that what Isabella reveals about him until he was fired by the reversinator by Doofus, which caused it to not be seen. But I really like Doofus and Perry scenes along with Norm being hit by the reversinator, which is funny. And I really like how Phineas and Ferb and his friends build something for a sculpture and a lot of things. Very consistent. Visuals, it's a 4. There are a lot of good visuals with the Phineas and Ferb inventions that they build. Isabella with the Operation Concrete with the letter and the song as well. Norm Resonator. There's a lot of stuff, but not too spectacular. Importance, I'm gonna have to give it a 4. If it wasn't for the Finabella arc, it wouldn't be as important as it is. We have Happy Birthday Isabella, and now this episode of the Finabella arc, and the next one will be Night of the Living Pharmacist. I would have gave it a 2, but the Finabella arc in season 4, which is the reason why I give it extra points. Entertainment is a 5. Overall, it gets a 20 out of 25. I do prefer Father's Day over this episode, but this episode's done very well, which is the reason why it's more important because of Finabella more than anything. Ask the fandom. And this is the highest rated 11-minute episode of The Fireside Girl, which I rated less than B-Day and Isabel and the Temple Sat. But at least it's beaten by Lord of the Fireside, which is 10 times better. To complete this breakdown video, the episode called Mandus, written by Aliki Theophilopoulos and John Mafford, premiered on July the 14th, 2014 on Disney XD US. Doof events Nate to disguise himself as the local pizza delivery boy in an effort to get warm pizza. However, Candace gets hit by the ray and uses her new delivery boy appearance to find out what makes boys tick.
Almost perfect day to build another one of our inventions.
You want to spray the Hoojamagawas?
His colors almost got blown again. He wants to make sure it doesn't happen.
The tree for now.
10 for a good Bible marathon on last night. More random construction equipment for.
How about you go in the chimney or inside the house to find the layer?
Late for my creative writing class.
I wish we got to see that, but this episode,
No need to walk all the way down here. Experimenting with image technology.
At least Major Monogram's been helpful for the mission briefing, and Perry's going back up.
Spin-off. Platypus in a staircase.
Boys is, I just don't get them.
And this is gonna be the whole episode about, and it does it the most uninteresting way.
Drawings that no one understands.
You mean like hieroglyphic?
I don't know what that means, but I put it this screen to show you what it is.
After they found the Rosetta Stone.
Like how you know that?
Oh.
You mean research, Stacy? Come on.
Movies later, and he said, cool. Cool, I totally want to hang out with you, or want to see that movie, or cool, like I think you're being cold and distant.
It's either way, but sometimes the conversation can be pointless. He's like, cool, I'll do it later. Cool, I'll do it now. It depends. The oldest trick in the book. He fell for the trap again, but this is a good one.
Demonstrated my latest donator was check. Demonstrate donator, check. Boy, light lunch, take over the tri-state area, and schedule painters.
I like how Doofer writes in, as we see in every episode, nearly every episode in every season.
That whole pizza day debacle.
And that's a callback to Sci-Fi Pie Fight in season 3. Lovely.
Personator-anator!
He said curse, but he didn't say curse you, so I'm not gonna count that.
And Anator so nice, I had to name it twice. I feel around myself. Delivery boy, and pick up my own pizza.
What happens if they touch you and find out who you are? It might not work most of the time.
Said, Heinz, and I said, why be the pizza boy?
Perry's looking at the screen. He possibly thinking about the Fourth War again.
Owner! Uh-oh.
Transferring.
The delivery boy coming up. It was just such a good line.
And this is gonna turn out to be another chaotic thing in the backyard.
See, boys are a mystery. About when we're not around. Do you think they talk about it?
This is like a real life conversation where people not around you talk about other people, like celebrities and other people. And around my family, it's me.
No deal as long as I'm not a boy.
Well, you in law. And here comes the part where many people are divisive about.
Pizza delivery boy in my room. He's in the mirror. But no, this cannot be happening.
I don't think it had to do with criticism of Candace being the boy. Some people who didn't like this episode because of stereotyping.
Stacy into a holographic image of a pizza boy.
Why would Phineas and Ferb will turn you into that? It's not them.
Veggie special with non-dairy cheese?
Stacy!
That was very smooth, Stacy. Very funny.
Jeremy didn't order a pizza, then you could hang out with him and... Yes. Oh boy, I gotta work on my delivery.
This is going to be the most dragged Phineas and Ferb 11-minute episode as we see it.
Knowing what we're gonna do today and where Perry is, check.
Order a pizza?
Nope.
We even thought about ordering it.
I'm surprised they didn't hear that voice quickly. Otherwise, they would have recognized Candace straight away.
Time travel pizzeria.
Lieutenant General. And then I thought, why?
Perry has 3 hands in this thing while punching Doofenshmirtz.
Ow! Ow!
In the nose. Ouch. That's gonna hurt.
Hey, I'm open!
Pizza Beret.
Pizza interference.
Johnson.
Candace trying to impersonate as a man. It kinda is stereotyping. Here comes the most underwhelming part of this episode, including Doof.
You didn't, but your girlfriend did. There, I'd say you're probably the luckiest man girlfriend like that.
Look familiar.
When I first watched it, I thought Jeremy's gonna say about Candace, but it isn't.
Hamburger eating, football playing.
Oh, I forgot Coltrane is there. Haven't seen him for a while.
Wait, you're Gary Frank. You're popular senior 2 years in a row. Pizza break. It'll be fun to catch up.
Yeah,
And Candace is gonna join in the conversation as she does with Stacy earlier. And this is going to be the most dragged out scene in the 11-minute episode of Phineas and Ferb.
That was funny. Belching. Male.
I like how Candace as a pizza boy talking with Jeremy and the other boys, but it's the least favorite part in this episode.
Talk about something like, I don't know.
Nope. What?
This pizza's really good.
You meet lover's choice. I wasn't sure about the prosciutto. It could be really embarrassing. Like,
When I first watched this scene is very uninteresting to me. It's just like, this conversation is pointless.
I have a feeling if Jeremy doesn't wash that shirt soon, it's going to be reported as a health hazard.
At least they got Coltrane's original voice actor, Corbin Blue. I hope he returns in the revival.
Stacy's mom's got it going on.
This is a health hazard.
Your breath is a health hazard.
I like how they insult each other but not mean-spirited.
I've really been underestimating Stacy's conversation.
The 26th president of the United States.
I did my research, and yes, that is true. He's been president since 1901 to 1909.
By William Taft.
The narrator's giving random things, but it is pretty funny.
It's taller than you.
2 touchdowns, 23 points left.
This is how I feel about you, Candace. It just drags on and on and on.
Place in my keeper league.
Lucky because I drafted Kimball, but he's out for 2 more weeks.
Oh, I know.
anyone here have a girlfriend?
Her name's Stacy's absolutely the best girl.
Even though we don't see much of Coltrane, I wish we got to hear more about or see with her relationship with Stacy, but not as much. We did see in the revival, but not as is.
Oh, your girlfriend ordered the pizza?
Girlfriend ordered pizzas.
She's cool.
And that's what Candace heard in the early conversation. Cool.
And she's cool.
So cool. I'm cool or cool like she's cold and
This first this one, she's cool. She's sweet.
Conversation looked interesting, but it drags on and is eating up time. We don't get to see much of Phineas and Ferb's invention.
Thoughtful or sweet like so sugary you're gonna be sad?
Just means she's sweet.
Nice like she's nice?
I'm trying to do anything to like this episode, but the longer conversation bothers me.
She's nice.
You say is exactly what you mean. Say it, you mean it, that's it.
I guess, because we're like dudes.
It's just a normal talk, that's all. You say cool, and he means the good kind of cool, or the distant kind of cool. But Jeremy likes her no matter what. We've seen it many times, but this felt pointless in this plot.
Great hanging with you.
Diffra is the golf and gold cheeses, and also Perry's Dr. Diffra.
Oh, I get it.
And that's a callback to Boston, as Perry is as Lulu Jones.
Paleoorthodontist.
It's like they made a force field around them.
We're the first humans ever to taste blueberry air.
I'll take a large pie with anchovy sausage and chocolate chip.
Every time I get a pizza, it will be a sausage, a mushroom, and all that, and it looks tasty.
Not a pizza boy.
It's Candace. Holographic field projection mapped onto her.
You could have known this earlier if she didn't run away, but at least Phineas knows it now.
Didn't you guys do this?
It's making blueberry air.
Why not Lincolnberry?
Exactly.
What about Dunkelberry? That would make things so much better.
Buford is like the 8th person to order pizza from.
We didn't do it, but we'll be glad to undo it.
The only way to undo it is Perry destroys the Anita, but I like how Phineas is thinking.
I totally need that.
And Perry's is Blanca Deshawn. And also, fun fact, Major Monogram used to go out with Blanca Deshawn when they were young. Look at the hologram fizzle out as it back into Perry. Looks cool.
Who's this nincompoop? It's you, Perry the Platypus.
And I like how Duffer calling the names that Perry the Platypus became in the hologram. Cool.
We need for a holographic field disruptor.
And they're about to build it while being front-faced.
Back to normal.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
She cannot stop saying cool. Another one.
Someone think of the Buford!
Hey, Candace. Over the pizzas. That was really cool.
This is Jeremy Johnson's final speaking appearance, not counting his second dimension as he did appear in the second dimension. But he did speak again in Milo Murphy's Law and Candace Against the Universe, but that was after the show ended. So in the original one, in this universe, this is the last time Mitchell Musso will voice Jeremy.
Still on for the movies tonight? Cool.
Cool.
This episode did not do very well, but the end part of the song does.
Arctic.
What do you mean by that?
Exactly what I said.
This episode was just very underwhelming at best. Time for the ratings though. The plot will get a 1. The whole progression felt slow and empty, and it dragged on unnecessary. There are times I like it with Candace talking with Jeremy and Coltrane, and Doofus with his self-sustained dialogue with Perry the Purple, even though it didn't quite live up to what it is, but instead of being funny, it reminded me of something. It did become long and very uncomfortable, which ate up time. Phineas and Ferb the Gambill Blueberry Air, but it's not as impressive compared to the other invention they did in the past, and it felt null. Characterization felt consistent at times, but not in this episode. I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't think none of them are out of character. I really like Coltrane talking to Jeremy with Candace, even though it's stereotyping at time. I really like Doof and Perry's interaction, even though it drags on. As well as Phineas and Ferb, they don't do much. It's consistent, but it's just not much there in this episode. It felt flat. Visuals is a 2. Apart from Phineas building an airberry for his inventions, and also the hologram that Perry and Doof had to fight each other, that's it. There's no much worthiness, there's no stunning animation there, no stunning song, even though the song end wasn't quite as hitful compared to the others, but it did okay in some aspects, but not as much. Importance, I don't want to slag it too much, but it's a 0 for me. I would be harsh, but 0 is the right score for me, because it's not much in the episode, not memorable, there's not much fans talking about it, and that's it. Even Kaname can't save it, which is not as usual as it is. Entertainment, it's a 2 for me. Total score is an 8 out of 25. This was one of the worst episodes of Phineas and Ferb. Maybe musical clips and countdown is better off of it. Some people say At Your Age was the worst episode. At Your Age was bad. It did have a lot of flaws, I can agree with that, but no one puts the same energy as this episode, which is beyond me. Even though season 4 is consistent, even though they kind of run out of ideas, and even though I love the show, this one is the least for me. This is the most least rewatchable episode I will ever watch, and I will refuse to come back to it no matter what. Let's move on to the final thoughts. In Father's Day, this episode takes place a day before the events of Summer Belongs to You. If Father's Day takes place on June 19th and the summer takes place in the summer solstice is on June 20th, it may not be both dates change from year to year. It showed that Phineas and Ferb in the summer solstice, which involved building a giant roping robot, that means they couldn't have built that robot after the events of this episode. And don't forget the credit set, it says One Glorious Summer for season 1 to season 4, except some episodes like the Christmas special, Happy New Year, or some of the Dream episodes. Also in the same episode, Doofer only told Perry his long-known backstory twice. Then this episode takes place after Lone Known Beach Party of Terror, following Got Game, The Chronicles of Me, Finding Mary McGuffin Doll, The Roller Coaster the Musical, This Is Your Backstory, and Across the Second Dimension, which will actually make it confusing because could this episode take place before the summer solstice, which is Summer Belongs to You, but there are some aspects that doesn't make any sense. Maybe because of amnesia there or something, I don't know. Phineas and Ferb collab with ESPN of the Stanley Cup playoff of Zamboni, which you can find on Instagram and social media. And there's a statement of Phineas and Ferb being one of the first animated production in receive a tax credit of the California Film Commission. I just did the update a couple days ago about how many actors are there, and they did that, and this is the latest update I'll show you now. I did a poll on what is your favorite Halloween episode of Phineas and Ferb. 5% said Curse of the Candace, 3% said Face Your Fear, 17% said That's the Spirit. Tri-State Trilogy of Terror had 14%, One Monster, Phineas and Ferb Thirsty, and One Good Scared Out to Do It had 0%. But Juscelstiner has 69%, while Night of the Living Pharmacist has 92%. Juscelstiner actually takes place in a real Halloween after summer, but it has a lot of songs, Monty and Vanessa dancing with each other, different Perry going on the quest, which makes it great. But you can't beat Night of the Living Pharmacist, which is easily one of the best Halloween episodes of Phineas and Ferb. Easily one of the best episodes of Phineas and Ferb in general. I can't wait to break down this episode. This is going to be very interesting, and plot points which I will talk about. I'm going to be doing another poll on which is your favourite family dynamic on the Dawn Swampyverse. Let me know in the community tab when it goes live, but until then, hope you have a fantastic day. As always, see ya.